Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and this is the Locker Gnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of tech news, gadget views, and other stuff the world can use. This episode is a little late, if only because I did not want to upload it on the same day of the Connecticut tragedy. What had happened to those school children is senseless, although such an event gives me pause and makes me value the connections I have today. My connection with you, my close friends, and certainly my family. And while senseless acts of violence happen every day the world over, the conversation, at least Friday, the day of the shootings, was dominated by that event. And so I thought it was best to wait a day to talk about. I happen to have a string of LED lights that are completely wireless, not connected, and yet they're illuminated, thanks to 4 AA batteries. I plan on wearing these in public today, despite Diana wishing I wouldn't. I picked them up on a discount, and if you're interested, I'll be sure to put a link in this video's description. Strange but true, the Death Star petition passes threshold for official response from White House. And since it had enough signatures, the White House must respond to the idea of building a Death Star. I guess I'm kind of for it. I mean, think of all the jobs that will be created from, such a space station. But do we really need a Death Star? Did I really ask that question? I don't know what the White House is going to say, but I already built a Death Star. That video's on YouTube. Have you guys been playing the Walking Dead series? I know that Candace is a fan, and if you're looking to get into something like this, she'll give you the skinny. Let it be known that I hope to never be attacked by zombies. You may have seen the TV commercials advertising these online scanners that will clean your PC. Well, do those online virus scanners really work? I remember using one a while ago, and it did detect some viruses, but it didn't detect them all. Certainly, web-based software, software that you could only run when the web browser was running, something that's not installed at the system level, won't be as effective as something that's installed at the system level. They're worth trying, but sometimes you get what you pay for. And speaking of commercials, as of last night, commercials can no longer have their volume set higher than the average volume of the program they're running against. I think you know the problem I'm talking about. It's no longer legal in the United States. I think you know what I'm talking about. It's no longer legal to do in the USA. I have electronics everywhere. They're coming out the wazoo. Seriously, I have a wazoo installed on the other side of my home office. But here are 3 kitchen gadgets you might want to avoid. Robo-Stir. Yeah, I was probably going to avoid that one anyway. Eggies. What the hell are eggies? Oh, supposedly they help you make hard-boiled eggs. Really? Gadgets to help you make hard-boiled eggs? Then there's the Pizza Baker. $200? For something that only bakes pizzas? Now that we've shown you 3 kitchen gadgets you might want to avoid, does anybody have any kitchen gadgets that they can't live without? And I'm not asking for myself, but for Diana, because she doesn't really want any more, but, maybe she doesn't know what she wants. Check this out. Press play. It's a YouTube story. We've written some editorial around it, how YouTube empowers people to pursue their dreams. I realize it's not always easy to view a comment thread on YouTube, although I gotta say, you guys have been pretty good these past few months. Since starting our vlogs, I gotta tell you, our sentiment has been generally positive, other than when we start talking about gadgets and operating systems. That's one thing to keep in mind. You're not just communicating with a computer. You're talking to other people when you leave comments online, and they're going to see those comments that you're leaving. It's certainly possible that your career could blossom on YouTube. That's one of the reasons why we are pursuing the idea of doing a vloggertainment event here in Seattle next summer. Stay tuned for more details. I've talked about it briefly in the Pirillo vlog, but those details are coming together rather quickly. Would you like to make a living from YouTube? Well, our event may help you do that. Do you have coworkers? I'm sorry. This might make it easier to deal with them. An LED message board. Powered by a single USB cable, this message board allows you to configure up to 8 different messages. Yeah, but then you lose the excuse of walking by a desk just to get a new Twizzler. Because some coworkers have gigantic vats of Twizzlers on their desks. Google launches 18 new Google Plus features focusing on mobile, photos, events, and Hangouts. Both Android and iOS got the update today. And while I certainly do appreciate the updated design and features, I can't say I'm all that impressed with performance. I'm beginning to believe that Google is Latin for stutter. I don't see the same degree of stutter on the Android version of the app on my Nexus 4, or at least it's not as pronounced. See how it just stops right in the middle of scrolling and jerks around? Okay, maybe this camera won't pick it up, but I certainly see it up close. It's like I'm not even using an iPad. And while we're on the subject of Google Apps for iOS, I wanted to clarify a statement that I made yesterday in relation to Google Maps, the new version. As I'm scrolling around the screen, it's just not a very fluid experience, at least in comparison to using Apple Maps on my iPhone 5. Google Maps is extremely fluid on the Nexus 4. So it's not that Google doesn't know how to avoid stutter, it just doesn't. I really wish Google would start paying attention to performance. I mean, if only because its data could finally shine, and it does. Sometimes. I have no problem with Google. I obviously have no problem with Google, inherently. I only want the products to get better. Who wouldn't? And don't get me started on how much help Google Chrome still needs. Internet safe for now from Globalized Censorship as UN treaty fails. iPhone 4S is outselling the iPhone 5. Well, that's not really a surprise. It's certainly more affordable, and in many ways, good enough. I do like my iPhone 5, and I wouldn't trade it for an iPhone 4S, but I'm not everybody. Stalkers, prepare to be thwarted. Senate passes location privacy bill. Y'all shouldn't be checking in at places that you shouldn't be checking in at anyway. If you're really worried about your privacy, just don't ever get online again. Twitter ads, terrible or terrific? I can tell you one thing, Facebook promoted posts really work. I paid $7 the other day to get one post promoted to all 141,000 of you following me on my Facebook page. And you saw it, and you shared it. It was a good update. I haven't experimented with Twitter ads, but I don't know what I would use it for. Take 30 seconds to complete a fill-in-the-blank sentence to find your next job. It's just a simple website, jobdreaming.com. By the way, I was going to give you a live hands-on of the HTC One X Plus today, but as I explained in the beginning of the video, I decided to hold off on certain publishing efforts right now. This hands-on will happen live on YouTube at some point this coming week. So stay tuned for that link to show up in this YouTube channel. I'll tweet it out, I'll post it to Facebook, I'll set up an event on Google+, and then of course you should also download the free Locker Gnome app for iOS or Android, and I will send out a push notification. If you're not getting push notifications, we are working on addressing that bug. So be sure to do that. Let's see who our top user is today, just, wondering who it is. Danny Schwogler. I'm also going to be unboxing this next week, my Kindle Paperwhite, sponsored by go.tagjag.com/online backup. You can get unlimited data backup for an entire year for just $2.98 a month. Just click that link because you get like a gig free or something like that. Go.tagjag.com/online backup. And I'm grateful to have another sponsor in GoDaddy.com. You can get 3 domains for just $5.99 a piece by using the coupon code 599CHRIS when you check out. And the question has been asked by Curtis Coburn. When will Steam be available for Linux? Now. You don't have to wait. You can get it now. Is it as full-featured as what you may have been experiencing on other platforms? Well, it's not quite there yet, but it will be. In fact, I'm going to go as far as to say that eventually Valve will be building, or at least branding, their own PCs to live in your living room, or possibly even as a traditional desktop, and being nothing but gaming systems that work well in this context or in the context of a large screen TV. And before you go, let me explain once again that I appreciate everything that you're doing because you appreciate the things that we're doing for you every day. We'll see you later.